So, and now we carry on the cross of planning 3-5 profile. Nobody is more effective on the cross of planning and more disturbing on the cross of planning than the 3-5. Again, always remembering the value of the 3-9. And if there is ever a cross that the 3-5 could thrive on, if there's ever a time in evolution, if you know global cycles, you can go back and see the eras where the 3-5s could be comfortable. This is an area where they can be comfortable because we need trial and error in order to establish accuracy. accuracy. It's like the development of Jovian art so far, of Maya mechanics imaging. It's one of the things that created a theoretical package. It's another thing to have it tested. You need to have it tested, and the moment you have it tested, you see that there are things that you need to do to perfect it. It's one of the essential aspects of the logical process. So when you're dealing with the 3-5, the 3-5 is truly here to discover new skills. You head on a path as the 3-5 and the hell breaks loose. And in order for you to survive, you have to adapt. There you are with any gasoline on the road, and you have to figure out what to do and so forth and so on. The magic of the 3-5 is that they can adapt. And not only can they adapt, but the gift that is they adapt the form. They use the same form, not for what is intended, but it takes that form and uses it for something else. And this is incredible. If you really follow that back, it's like think about what about a gear, and it's just the concept of a gear changes everything. The discovery of a gear changed so many things. A long, long line of this movement. The great inventions are 3-5 inventions. The cross of planning are the ones who trial and error that are, and I want to tell you something. They're in a not self world. They're the threes, they're the fives, and they're the cosmic fuck up. It starts day one and they feel like that. So it's not like they're inventing everything. It's not like they're fulfilling what's their potential. You can imagine. Or you can look at the science fiction that's ever being written, all of it, and all that science fiction it relates to the possibility of what we can have on this planet. It's all of it could have realized during the cycle of all of it. The funny thing about human design is that when it comes to the building principle, anything we can imagine we can do. Anything we can imagine we can do. It's only those things we cannot imagine we cannot do. It's like people who say that you can't travel at the speed of light. You can do that, but that's not true. The moment you can imagine that you can travel at the speed of light, I'm sure it's possible. As a matter of fact, in understanding Einstein, you know that Einstein only said you cannot accelerate to the speed of light. He didn't say you couldn't travel at the speed of light. He said you just couldn't accelerate. Now, if you open the door into something that was traveling at the speed of light and you just jumped on, you can travel at the speed of light. Anything we can imagine is possible in this cycle. And of course, we know most of us have left our imagination to our pleasure of watching a movie at night and seeing the potential of the cost of planning, not concrete society and life, but as art. But it's right near the end. You can't imagine how many special machines we still need. If you understand global cycles, one of the things that leaving us in 2027 is the 61 and the 61-1 inner truth. Whatever truth we need, and the only way we get to truth now are through machines. It's one of the things to understand how successful we've been developing skills in the cycle. As we already did, the rack could dream neutrinos. Their reality could be revealed to me as a mess. And yet it took a big machine deep underground in Japan to prove it. And only when it's proved it's going to be in the dense Maya. We need the machines, and there are certain things we still do not know. And we need our 3-5s on this cross to discover what machines are necessary. I have a machine I want to build. It's called Monopole Detector. It's a machine that somebody stands in. And when you stand in that machine, the machine hones in on your nanomonopole and measures its frequency. I want that machine, and I know that there's only 25 years left, 23 years left. And if I don't get that machine in 23 years, nobody's ever going to get that machine. I want matter. All this stuff only matters now because we're all caught planning together. We're all on the same frequency together. We all think all of this stuff is so important. United Nations, globalization, we're headed in a stage where it's everyone for themselves. What do we mean we? Keep on shouting. What is we business? This is the we time. This is the bargain time. This is the cycle ruled by 4037, and it's coming to an end. We're in the dying gasps of all this. The 3-5s are essential in engines, particularly now. Every time the 3-5 comes into the human design across my fingers, you can imagine how many times I've been disappointed. You can't imagine. There's always this maybe I get a 3-5 who studies Moneyball. Maybe I get a 3-5 physicist who I can introduce to a 3-5 geneticist, and on, because they could discover how do we do this. After all, they've only looked up, they've never looked in. I know where they are. They're right there. It's just a matter of measuring it. You have to figure out how to measure it. I guess by getting rid of everything else. There must be a way of meaning the total frequency of the human body, and one by one eliminating those frequencies that you know where they come from. The frequencies of the nervous system, the frequencies of the lymphatic system, the frequencies of breath, the frequency of a heartbeat, the frequency of a liver, the frequency of the kidneys, and you get all this frequency, you take them all away, and there's going to be one left that's going to be there. And I think of any other way to do that. 3-6. Obviously, when you're dealing with a 3-6, and again, you're dealing with a 3-3 dilemma. What I always want you to remember through is to whatever you're dealing with this is 6, you always have to see this dilemma at the beginning of the life. And again, to see on this cross of planning trees have a great value to us. They're the ones that can tell us that the plants are wrong. They're the ones that can tell us that the process is wrong. They're the ones that can tell us that the skills are lacking. They're the ones that can give us all the direction that we need in order to concretize all these skills, to concretize the plan. After all, the 60th gate is the only gate in this cross that comes the burden of exactly having to put it into form. And it doesn't give the access to a motor. That's not easy. So when you're dealing with the 3-6, when you're dealing with the 3-6-3 process, my first comment to any young third line being that I meet, I don't worry about your life at all until you're 30, and then it's okay to worry about your life, what your life is going to be. When you're looking to spend your life, it's okay to fall in love before 30, but it's probably won't last. But then again, you learn something about love. But it's very important for third line beings to understand that because they're genetically designed to be free, these instruments of discovery, that they meet every crack, they meet every failure, they meet the potential for things to go wrong. They're designed for things fall apart in their hands and in their lives. This is what they're in for. And now fascinating to be a psyche geared towards the exploration of that rather than the victimization, because it's a totally different frequency. As a third line being, when you know something is going to go wrong, and it does, there's actually a glee, even if it hurts. So you're a third line being and you smash your car, and there's a part of you going left. And it's not like, oh, it's going to cost me a fortune, and it was so stupid, and why did it do that, and I don't know how to drive, or transferring it to the other and calling them the idiot, and the police come over, and there are people screaming and yelling, and there are problems and they're just suits and countersuits. What a mess. Treat your C's and your 3-6s and your 6s well. So, treat me well. Just another 6. Trying to mutate.